What's good, YouTube? This is your boy, Spiritual Rico, and we're back with another interesting topic. The topic of the day is discipline. See, a lot of the things that we want in life, we pray for, and we want it really bad. But in order to receive it, you got to go through some things. Sometimes in life, things are going to get tough. Things are going to get hard. I'm talking about very hard. Anything that's worth having, it's always worth going through for. And it's going to be tough. And one thing I noticed is that everybody want to change. I am a person who has a past. And I said that I wanted to change. The first step in knowing that you're changing is when you're able to identify where you're falling short at. That's the first step. The second step is dealing with basically what you call reaping everything you sow that's going to propel you to the change that you want. In other words, see, you can't do something over and over again that you know you're not doing correctly and expect a different result because you tried a little effort. You tried a little bit more. Yeah, it's going to get a little bit better, but that's not changing. You just getting better. It's a difference between getting better and change. See, in order to change, number one, you got to be disciplined. Because life has a way of when you ask for something, it has a way of giving it to you. But before you can get the fruits, the glory, the change that you want, you're going to have to go through that rough patch of hard times. That rough patch of misery. You're going to hear people bringing up your past, which I'm going to address later. You're going to have people bringing up your past. You're going to have people trying to pull you back to that negativity or whatever aspect you're trying to change from. And see how you deal with those tough times of going through your reaping, your re-hearing your past, the bad things about you, the past, and everything that comes with it. You're going to realize that if you don't, you're being judged by how you handle what you're trying to change from. And it's going to come at you bad. It's going to come at you 10 times. I'm talking about 10 times like a freight train just coming and smashing you. You know? You're going to be flat on your back. And in my last video, I said, you never know what you're made of until you lay flat on your back. I've had times in my life where I've been up and I've been down. And when God has a way of, you hear people saying good things don't last long. At some point you have to be humble. In life, we as people constantly want different things. Like I said, the number one thing we want, everybody has something that they want to change about themselves. Whether it's financial, whether it's internal, whether it's physical features, everybody has something they want to change. Prime example, when a woman feels as if her body is not presented or fitted the right way, some women build up the courage to work out. Some women build up the courage to have surgery. Now, both of those two comes with the pain and suffering. Because when you working out, you working out, that pain you got to do. Some mornings you got to wake up body aching, you sweating. I'm talking about you sweating out of your pores heavily. And then if you're a woman who chose to get a surgery, you come off the operator table, you got to deal with the healing process. See, everything, that's the key ingredient. Everything has a healing process that comes from pain. And with change comes pain and healing. See, in order to get to the good stuff, you have to go through the pain, and then it's going to be a healing process. So let's talk about this. Let's say you're a person. First and foremost, you can't change without including God. I don't care what religion you serve. God is known as a man with many names. If we was in a particular place, we'll be calling him that name. You know, that's for, we're all praying to the same God. We just don't want to face it. That's another conversation. But what you have to realize is you want change and you're demanding it. God said you have not because you ask not. So when you ask for something, God doesn't just give it to you. The same thing you ask. That's why it's the older people. My mom, my grandma, I've heard older people say, be careful what you wish for. Because sometimes the very thing that you wish for, in order to possess that, comes a lot of pain, heartache, and sometimes misery. I'm talking about it gets very bad before you can be able to woosah and accept it. So most people, they say I want to change. Within the first 2 or 3 days, they're doing everything that they wanted to change. They're doing it, right? I give it, let's say not 3 days. I give it a week. Let's say for a week, this person's been doing that, this and this and this. Now I'm speaking from personal experience. Boom, okay, and then boom, testing time. You hear someone who knows you say something like, whatever your past is. They bring up your past, let's say. First thing I used to do was, when someone reminded me of my past, the first thing I would say, oh, this person the devil, just trying to get in the way of me doing good. I said that for many years and wonder why I could never change. I always got better, but I never changed. See, in the midst of me getting better, some of my habits got worse. So really, I wasn't getting better. I was actually declining. Because the more I spoke those words, the more of a reset it put me in. And see, I had to realize something. A year ago, I was working. I had a lot of money. I started making a lot of money. And I'll never forget, me and my mom was riding in the car. And she knew, I was happy, jolly, I was spending. I have a very, very, very spending habit when it comes to food. That's the only thing I spend money on a lot. Like, I done spent $200 in food in 1 week at one time. And because I knew I could make it back. But it was a dumb way of thinking. But I never forget my mom. My mom was in the car and she was saying, Ricardo, she said, you need to find a way to save your money. You need to start saving your money. Let me manage your account. And instantly, I'm like, Mom, I'm good. I'm working a lot. Instead of listening. See, a lot of people don't want to admit. See, one of my problems that I always said I wanted to change, but see, what I just learned, and now I'm literally saying just learned because I've been praying for change for the last 5 years. I'm going to be the first to tell you, I've been praying for change for the last 5 years. The moment I started wanting to listen more, I started to see things change. Now, I'm not completely changed yet. I'm going to be real with you. I done seen a 10% change. my viewpoint, how I approach things. Now I still have things from my past, but to give you example, not I'm not no saint. I'm never going to come on here and tell you that I'm a saint. But instantly, when mama started telling me something, see what you gotta realize is when you ask for your change, there's going to be people, there's going to be things that the universe is going to present to you that's going to help aid you and help mold you. See, the constructive criticism, them bringing up your past, if you look at it in a negative aspect, you're going to say you're hurting yourself. Why you gotta bring up my past? I'm not the same me. I'm different. I done changed now. No, you haven't. You're in the process. You just started, baby. You in the process. You ain't even changed yet. And that's what I had to realize. Just because you thinking somewhere mentally, still won't manifest if you're not consistent. And if the universe is constantly putting people to mold you and to guide you, and you're not listening to it or you're not if you're not interpreting it in a positive mindset, you're going to hurt yourself, which is going to cause you subconsciously to become distant from the idea of you wanting to change. You will actually take 3 steps back and get worse before you even think about wanting to change again. Because you be caught up in so much of thinking negative. Oh, why these people got to bring up my past? They just hating on me. No, they ain't hating on you, baby. See, what you got to realize, ma'am and sir, what you got to realize is when somebody's reminding you of your past, can't nobody hurt. What I had to learn, I heard somebody say this, and it made sense to me. What you have to realize, a person can't hurt you with something that you're already accepted yourself about. If you've accepted your past entirely, you will be able to read between the lines when somebody is directing you, giving you constructive criticism. See, what we as people don't fail to realize is sometimes we be trying so hard to get to the fruits and glory, you don't want to go through the pain. And when you don't want to go through the pain, you think God just go send you people just to narrow you to your path. That's what I always used to thought. I'm keeping it real, keeping it 1,000. I thought that when you pray, you know what I'm saying, and God does. But see, God needs you to be molded for the change. You have to be molded so you can fit the change that you desire. So you have to be guided, and along with that guidance comes with that pain. That pain of you having to bite the acceptance of what you're trying to change from. Because God will send them people, and if you are presented with someone who's bringing up your past, I challenge you here today. Anytime, if you don't believe nothing else, anytime somebody's bringing up your past, that means it's time for you to be aware of it, accept it, so you can change it. Anytime somebody's bringing up something to you, not all the time it's hatred. Anytime somebody, even if it's a hater, you could learn things from anybody that says anything about you, whether it's true or not. Because let me tell you something. Especially if that person know you. See, my mom, my family, who have my back 100% and who I take for granted very dearly, I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you guys. I take my family for granted. I just now, after years of my family telling me this, I'm just now saying, damn, how bad I take it for granted. Because here I'm trying to change, and I'm saying like, damn, I'm not beating down on myself, but I'm like, man, I did not mean to slip up again. And see, what you got to realize is it's okay. Because what you got to realize, God will continue to give you opportunities. Now, I'm going to pause there, because all good things come to an end. It's going to be a time where God is going to give you an extended amount of time to allow yourself to take the easy way before he say, you know what, let's go the other way. And you're not going to like the other way. See, God always sends you the easy way, and he presents the hard way. When you don't get the signs of the easy way, life tends to God tends to tighten your life and backs you in the corner that forces you to become the person that you want. It don't matter if it's 5 years from now. It don't matter if it's a day. Sometimes God will put you in the corner, put you flat on your back to where you ain't got to do nothing but submit to him. And he's going to give you everything that you desire. See, when you hearing about your past, baby, embrace it. Young man, embrace it. That's what I had to learn how to do, because it took me and my mom having a conversation. I was wondering, because on the outside looking in, everybody said, oh boy, you and your mom have a beautiful relationship. We love each other very dearly. But I'm going to go ahead and get this out the way. I'm a Cancer, she a Leo. We butt heads a lot because we got a lot of comment, and then too, it just, I'm dominant. But I use it the wrong way. I overly abuse it. A lot of ways I act passive, but my true nature is dominance, and it comes out, and I use it the wrong way. See, what you have to realize is, what I had to realize, I said, Mom, why we could never stay on good terms? I won't say good terms, like me and my mom laugh. That brings that joy of, you know, being able to connect with your mom is beautiful. And I just kept, every time my mama would say it, she was telling me, she was bringing up stuff from when I was 13, and I was like, Mom, but my, she was like, hush. That's what she always had to do. Hush. Just listen. I said, you know what? I'ma just listen. And my mom went to go on talking about all the stuff that I did with her, and it was some hurtful stuff that I didn't even realize how hurtful it was until I actually just shut the hell up and listened to what this woman had to say. And I'm sitting there, and all the times that I said, man, my mama, to my mom, I actually questioned myself. I thought my mom actually hated me. It's not that, man. A person won't your parents, I have parents. Like, I got a mother and a father. Your parents, they know what's inside of you. And what kills the thing between me and my mom is the fact that she knows what I have inside of me. But the fact that I keep doing things that's taking me further away and away from it, it makes her mad. Because it's like, she told me, Ricardo, you act like you just living. And I said, and in my head, I said, Mom, I'm trying to figure it out. Slowly but surely, I'm figuring it out. And she was just telling me, she said, you the problem. Usually when my mama say that, I would get upset. I did not. I walked away. My mom, if you were hearing the conversation, you'd be like, damn, she mean as fuck. No. Because I was after me and my mama had that conversation, I was in tears after that, because I was like, I'm trying not to get emotional. Because I was like, damn, my mom. Because I prayed to God, and I just needed confirmation to know what my mama's true intentions was about me. After that conversation, I'm like, man, my mom and dad really love me. Like, I didn't even, like, I make it hard for them to love me. Because anytime you as a person are constantly bucking against the grain, because God will send people that's guiding you. And my parents is what God uses to guide me, and a lot of what other people as well I've had in contact with. But what you got to understand is, I What's making it so hard for them to love me? Because here it is, they know what I'm capable of. Here it is, God has given these people the patience to deal with my nonsense. And I get chance after chance. And I was looking at it as, thank you. I didn't get kicked out. Because that's the thing, because I never did anything big. Always been little. I'm sharing my personal experience with you so you could understand that in life, we as people have people in place. God has people in place for you that's going to be guiding you, and that's going to be giving you that constructive criticism. Maybe from strangers, but 9 times out of 10 it could be people that's close to you. And see, what you got to realize, the point of the message today, be careful how you treat people. Because when you in the line of asking for change, when you going through that change, when you going through that process, and you hearing the testimonies from the people, when you just shut up and listen. How I know what my mom was saying to me at that moment wasn't wrong about me just shutting up and listening, because before me and my mom even had that talk, I was on Instagram and I ran across this Tracy Morgan video, and he said, just listen, just shut up and listen. A woman will tell you everything about herself. People will tell you everything about yourself. They're eager to do it. All you have to do is just listen, and you'll be able to hear. A person will be able to tell you whether or not they're mature enough. They're going to be able to tell you what type of person they is. Just shut up and listen. So we all say we won't change. It took me praying. It took a lot of praying. It took a lot of praying from my parents and stuff for me to even get to this point that I'm at. You know? And what I realized is, having that conversation, if I'm walking away from that conversation with my mom, was that, man, sometimes, man, we don't realize what our actions, how it makes people feel that we come in contact with, that God put in place to guide us, and that God put in place to give us that constructive criticism that's going to mold us into the change that we want to be. So you say, Ricardo, what do I need to do? First and foremost, man, from this day forward, man, be careful how you treat people. Be positive. Even if a person is coming at you with something negative energy, man, be positive. Remain positive. Treat people how you want to be treated. And if you're not going to do it for God, do it for, you got everybody that starts somewhere. Do it for the change that you want to see. Because it all plays a factor. Because God could use anyone you come in contact with. I done been places with my mom and had insight, people speaking life in me that don't even know me, all because I was well mannered. My encounter with them was something they don't hardly experience, and they spoke life into me. And I'm going back and I'm looking at all those times. Man, you never know how your actions will ripple when it comes to you wanting to change. Because at some point you're going to want to change. So just be careful how you treat people. Because it's going to come a time when you're going to have to be disciplined in order to reap all the things you have done that may have hurt people, rub people the wrong way. You're going to have to wear it. But at the end of the day, after you wear it, On the other side lies everything that you could possibly want. That's the change that you want. I know this, I always do long videos, but the point of the message is, man, doing this change that you want, you're going to have to do three things. Be able to identify where you fall short, accept it, and be disciplined. Do those three things, it unlocks the fourth, which is consistent. Because everybody, ignore my ashy note because I just got off work. Everybody starts to act the change that they want. But because they lack the ability to identify or accept or to have discipline, when the constructive criticism comes in, that's when people lose it. You'll never get the consistency of making that an everyday life, because everybody starts it, but it gets tough because now everything's going to come at you to make sure you ready for this. See, we always say make sure you stay where you at. No, it's making sure, are you ready for this? Because this is what you got to deal with in order to get this. And that goes for anything. Are you ready? Are you literally ready for the change that you want? I think tomorrow I'm going to record a part 2. But we're going to take a time and pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I ask that anyone who watched this video today be willing to be open-minded about any possible outcome and situation that they may have to travel through in order to maintain the change and achieve the change that they want. Lord, I ask that you allow them to know that there's no way to escape your past, and that your past is not a past to be ashamed of. Your past is put in place so you can make a better future. And Lord, I ask that anytime anyone's on the path of change and they're presented with their past, Lord, I ask that you allow them to be positive towards it and to take from it the fruit that they need to be able to prepare them to better days. And Lord, I ask that you be able to identify yourself to them and to me on our path of change. Allow us to have a mind and the mentality of a warrior to be able to conquer our own demons that we have placed upon ourselves, also with the demons that life has when we're accepting who we are. Because you can't have something that you've done and expect to be ashamed of it. You have to be able to accept you for who you are in everything you do, because it's from you. I ask that you allow us to all accept us for who we are, so we'll be able to push for a greater tomorrow. And I pray that you give us all a ledge of protection, wrap us in your blood 5 times over, send prosperity and abundance to us, and to cover us every day. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, guys. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. There will be a part 2 to this. And you guys be safe. This is your boy Spiritual Rico. I'm out. Peace.